Tom, you've got a background in independent advice for farmers. Foundation is agronomy, well-versed in cereal management, fertilizer, seeding rates. It led you into spray technology. You've been an advisor with AGvisorPRO from the start. You were one of our first experts to come on. I really want to thank you for the faith that you put in us. And farmers are starting to reach out to you on the platform. So that's cool, because as an independent, you can actually get paid for your knowledge and wisdom. So that works for you, fair for the farmers. So Tom, application timing is more important than application method. This can lead to some trade-offs in terms of productivity. Where do you find the extra hours to make the timing work, and how should a farmer, when you're considering weather and you're considering crop stages and all this stuff in a compressed season, what's some of your ideas?
Yeah, Rob, thanks for having me today. The nozzle technology is essentially mature. We can pretty well say that there isn't really such a thing as a bad nozzle. There's certainly a way to use a nozzle improperly, but we've really moved away from advising specifically on nozzles and more on time management. And when we do time accounting on the sprayer operation, it's almost universal. The sprayer sprays less than half the time that it runs on a spray day. The other half of the time is used doing other things. Often it's transporting, it's filling and cleaning, it's perhaps servicing or some other things. But I'm assuming an engine hour is on when it's a good spray day, and we are simply not making good use of that time. So if we look at the time accounting and we keep track of how we're spending our days, then we can maybe make those time improvements. And every half hour to hour that we lose, or that we don't waste, we gain on spraying time in the same day. So
what are you seeing as some of the biggest, if you were to get on a farm and assess their efficiency, what are some of the really big things that have made a difference?
Well, the big one is what Cody was talking about. It's the inductor system. It's the tender system. Let's look at it this way. We're pumping out a 1,000-gallon tank about every 20 to 30 minutes on when things are going well. And if it takes as long to fill it again, then we're possibly basically spending half of our time filling. If we can fill in 10 minutes or even less than that, that's all gravy for spraying. So every cycle, every hour to 40-minute cycle, we're gaining 10 to 15 minutes of spray time. At the end of the day, that's half a section of spraying that you're getting done that you wouldn't have gotten done otherwise. And that is key. System comes in, it's going to be wet for maybe 2-3 days, and you're not getting that last quarter spray that you needed to get sprayed because of timing, things that Ketan was talking about. The models are saying, now we got to go. If you don't go, what are you losing? You're losing the yield potential. And that's a really big opportunity cost, isn't it? So
I know when I run the Power Farm group and we do our Power Farm tours in the summertime, one of the places where they spend a lot of time is the spray trailer and configuring the spray trailer. Have you got any observations around that?
I love what's going on. I mean, it's all about minimizing, running around and just sort of staying stationary and being able to monitor everything from where you are, so you can go full speed on the pump as often as possible. When you're inducting, you're throttling back a little bit, but you also have to watch your tank level. So we're talking about getting, better visibility of how full your tank is. Maybe the load cell, that AGVolume cells in Ontario is very cool. And then you can just basically stay put and manage everything from one place. I know that the inductors at and other people like them have all the handles in one spot. You don't have to run around the system. Sometimes you just run around, before you know it, you're tripping on a hose or something. That would be tragic. But basically making sure you can do it. Every time I talk about filling fast, it's always the formulators of the dry products that say, could you please tell your fellas to slow down a bit, because the stuff still has to hydrate. And that really leads to another point. Jason was talking about it. Part of his time is really tank mix order, mixing sequence, and even Cody was talking about cleaning filters. If we screw up on the filling, it's a big mess to clean up. So sometimes you do have to take the time.
Yeah, I've never done a bad recommendation in my career ever. No. Hey, Tom, there's a lot of talk around sustainability, environmental protection, and every day you and I run into it. I know this next area that we were going to talk about has to do with reducing drift and stuff. So I want you to touch on that, but I also want to touch on the opportunities that avail themselves by tying in remote sensing and variable rate fungicide, variable rate desiccation. Some thoughts around that.
Yeah, we've everything in our industry has become just in time delivery, just in time application. We have to be productive, but we also have to deal with our waste properly. I mean, the whole stewardship thing for me really is about the engineering that we have in our sprayers has to be smart enough to make it easy to not waste. We're wasting when we prime. When we change products, we have to flush the old stuff or the water out of the boom first. And if quite a bit of product goes on the ground, we sometimes run the boom for a minute or even 2 minutes before we venture into that field to make really sure. You know how much flows out of that boom during that time? Probably 30 or 60 gallons. That's 3 to 6 acres worth of product. It might be $20 an acre. It's like opening your wallet and just throwing out 20s for a couple of minutes. And that's money wasted, but it's also product on the ground. And my
we had a hard time farmers paying us at the Agri-Trend days to do all the agronomy work, and then you see stuff going on the back end of the combine or the sprayer like that. That hurts. Hey, Tom, with the Pattison system, Pattison sprayer, they're doing recirculating booms, and that helps with reduction of waste, right?
I love the Pattison sprayer. The Pattison sprayer is what they did is they said, let's put just what we need on the sprayer and let's do it right and let's not overcomplicate things. And that worked. So they put a recirculating boom on there. It's the best recirculating system I've seen. They put a continuous rinse system on there. It works great. They've got a large tank. They got a wide boom. They got PWM. They got everything you could possibly want to set you up for being super productive. I like that about it. So yes, those things are very cool. The recirculating boom prevents needing to spray to prime. You can prime without spraying a drop and then go.
That's awesome.